I remember
not?
the cornucopia.
I don't.
I remember. I distinctly remember the cornucopia, and it might have been on something, early on. That was a misprint or something. But I do remember seeing it. I don't remember seeing it on any of the Fruit of the Loom products, of which I bought.
See, I remembered it on the Fruit of the Loom stuff because I remember as a kid I was even trying to draw it because I thought it was cool looking.
Yeah, I saw
And
it
that's
somewhere.
how you just fill in,
Yeah.
like what Dave was saying, you just fill in the blanks of
Yeah.
what you
Like, why would
think
there be
should
fruit
there.
if there wasn't a cornucopia?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, now here's the story behind the Fruit of the Loom imaginary cornucopia brand. Never.
You just like saying that word.
What, cornucopia? It's a good word. It's a good cornucopia.
He's trying to say it as many times as possible.
The brand never used a cornucopia. Here's the 1948 logo in the enhanced image, and here's what we see. Okay, there's Fruit of the Loom, and there's it. If you're not watching, it's a banner. It says Fruit of the Loom, and there's a little bit of fruit in the middle on the top. A cluster of fruits, apples, grapes, possibly berries, is encircled in a medallion or a seal. There's no clearly defined cornucopia horn, no wicker texture, no horn shape tapering off in the background, no basket opening. The fruit is simply arranged in a pile, often surrounded by decorative scrolls or ribbons, which could resemble a horn-like flourish at a glance, but aren't one. I'm skeptical.
I remember, and I'm not a Fruit of the Loom wearer, but I did all those boys' clothes, my brother's clothes, my son's clothes, all my son's friends' clothes who stayed over. You know what I mean? And I just always remember it as fruit. I never saw anything else with it. And I looked at it, good Lord, more than a mother should.
That's because you're our skeptic.
Wow. Well, what are you gonna do, right? I still see it in my head, so that's I guess
that's right.
That's my problem, right? 1996, Wall Street and the cornucopia reference. Here, the word cornucopia appears in a financial headline, not as a logo, but as a metaphor. This may reinforce the cornucopia association subconsciously. From the Wall Street Journal, the headline reads, Fruit of the Loom bringing investors cornucopia. And then I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read
you
the
don't
whole
have to read the article. It's just how the headline is.
Yeah.
And so many of us look at headlines.
In 96, I sure the hell wish I bought Fruit of the Loom stock for $24 a share. So why do so many people remember a cornucopia? This is the classic Mandela Effect territory. Here are a few likely contributors. Semantic association. The word fruit and loom naturally evokes imagery like cornucopias, symbols of bounty and harvest. Visual confusion. Many early logos had ornate frames and scrolls that in memory may be mistaken for a horn shape. False memory, reinforcement. People may have seen parody versions of the logo or fan recreations that included a cornucopia. Once that image is stored, the brain backdates it, and then general symbol confusion. The cornucopia may appear frequently in other logos and Thanksgiving decorations, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Fruit Loops or Fruit Loops. Is it F-R-O-O-T loops or F-R-U-I-T loops? Kellogg cereal. That's twisted reality. Many people swear it was always Fruit Loops, the common spelling of fruit. After all, it's a cereal made of fruit-flavored rings, right? But check your pantry or your memories. It's fruit.
Do you guys remember this one? I never buy cereal, so I don't know. I remember.
I remember that. I thought it was fruit, like regular fruit, until I watched a movie with my kids. Where was Fruit in? Spy Kids? The Thumbs? Wasn't that Spy Kids?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was
a kids movie that had a character who used the name Froot, F-R-O-O-P, and then I remember reading, is it Fruit Loops? And I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. And then I was in the grocery store and I looked and hung my head in shame and walked away. knowing I have been wrong for 5 freaking decades.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So from the beginning, the cereal was officially spelled Froot Loops, F-R-O-O-T. From the U.S. to Canada, retailers were constantly advertising Froot Loops, spelled F-R-U-I-T, despite the actual cereal being labeled Fruit, F-R-O-O-T, Loops. And
Yep, and that ad is hard to see, but it's got it spelled the wrong way on.
Froot Loops, yeah.
So no wonder people thought that's how it is, because that's what they were reading.
Yeah.
This one's a classic here.
Yeah. This ad makes the point perfectly. In a June 12th, 1991 ad, the Lehigh Free Press in Utah, even when showing the actual Froot Loops box, the newspaper still listed it as Froot Loops, F-R-U-I-T. This visual contradiction is a perfect example of how copy errors become memory canon.
I think that's exactly what happened. Somebody went, that's not how you spell that.
Exactly. Or you're
you got to realize right now we live in the age also of pick up anything that might be made by somebody that's a fake on purpose. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's like, but when you find, and I used to do enough sales flyer ads that I am familiar with some of the very ads that get brought up, because I'm like, I used to see that every week. I was a grocery shopping mom and needed every point and coupon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I can see where a lot of that would come from.
Yeah.
That in that local, give me a piece of clip art. That's what they ran with, because they had to pay to print their own papers there unless they were part of a chain. Now everybody's part of a chain now, but not back then.
Yep. And even with that, though, it's like the chain of Froot Loops. I mean, they actually show the box spelled one way and type it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Right.